Unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there about how to grow on YouTube. Even the most strategic and consistent content creators can get caught up in these false ideas about YouTube strategy, which can seriously hold them back in their growth. Last time we talked about YouTube lies, I broke down the myth of niching to grow and then expanding your niche once you have an audience. This time around, I want to address 3 more really common lies about YouTube growth that I honestly can't believe are still so popular. And we're going to discuss what to do instead. Lie number 1, vlogging is dead. The vlogging format has been an absolute pillar of YouTube as a platform for over a decade now. But recently there's been a lot of creators and strategists claiming that this type of video is dead. The claim that likely you have heard is that vlogging only works if you're already a famous influencer. And that, in my opinion, is a lie. Vlogging, for anyone, isn't dead. It's just that you need to convince your viewer to care about you first. And yes, one way to do that is by already being famous, but it's not the only way. Look, I'll be honest, probably the biggest challenge about becoming a successful content creator is convincing strangers on the internet to care about you and listen to you. But it's a challenge, it's not impossible. I feel like the creators who have blown up over the past few years with their vlogging or lifestyle content are proof that vlogging definitely isn't dead, and it is still possible to grow with that kind of content. My personal favorite example is Life of Riza, fellow Canadian girlie. She is such a talented creator whose whimsical and unique take on the vlogging format is so new and fresh, and it's really captivating people. Without really making any searchable videos or tutorials, or using overly clickbaity titles or thumbnails, Kariza has managed to grow a huge audience in a pretty short amount of time, just through her honest, authentic, and aesthetically beautiful vlogs. So if you want to grow a YouTube channel with vlogs in 2024, there's really a 2-part formula that you need to implement. Part 1 is to capture your potential viewers' attention with a good title and a good thumbnail. And the second part is to convince them to care about you through captivating storytelling. At least at the beginning, I think that you need to formulate your videos around topics or themes or experiences that are generally going to be intriguing to your viewer. Really, just a standard day in my life is not going to cut it at the beginning. And I know what you might be thinking. You might be like, Katie, isn't that exactly what a vlog is? Just like a day in my life. I know this can be hard to wrap your head around at first, but I promise you there is a strategy around this that all of the big creators use. And basically that is, you need to figure out what parts of your life are going to be magnetic to your potential viewers. These are parts of your life, from your personality to your routine, that kind of stick out from the rest and attract others who are also interested in those things. These will usually be things that are popular or commonly desirable or relevant to a specific niche interest. We all have these magnets in our lives. We just need to look for them and then emphasize them in our content. Let's talk about some examples. The city that you live in could be your magnet. We see so many creators getting popular using this strategy, especially in New York. For example, generic morning routine, not really gonna get that many clicks from a random new creator. But my morning routine in New York City with the right eye-catching thumbnail, that could really be something. It's the New York thing that's desirable. A lot of people want to live there or move there. That is what grabs people's attention. That's what draws them in. And then it's your actual video, your storytelling, your personality that's going to get them to stay. Okay, but where you live doesn't have to be your only potential magnet. Some of us live in generic cities that, you've probably never heard of. So you could go for like a special or unique aspect of your lifestyle. Some examples would be zero waste bathroom cleaning routine. Again, more interesting than just your regular bathroom cleaning routine because it's zero waste. 1 week of vegan recipes. My daily routine living van life. 1 week as a digital nomad in Spain. You can see how, again, all of these, yes, would be legitimate videos without those specialty parts mixed in. But it's things like zero waste or van life or digital nomad that can be magnets to potential viewers who are also interested in those kind of niche lifestyles. Another route you can take is emphasizing a specific and remarkable experience that you had. Titles along these lines would look like, I tried running 5K every day for a month, eating the top 25 rated croissants in Paris, cooking every recipe from Martha Stewart's cookbook, learning Spanish in Guatemala for a week. These aren't probably things you're gonna have access to every single week, but every so often you might do something that you could represent as quite a remarkable and unique experience. And that is a potential magnet. Finally, another route for this is sharing advice or wisdom. So something like what I wish I knew when I turned 21, why I decided to leave my corporate job, and what I learned from leaving my 10-year relationship. All of these are just potential routes for magnets, but you can see how you can look for these things in your own life. And you don't need to like move to New York City or become a van lifer. You just need to figure out what you're already doing that might be magnetic to new viewers. Whatever approach you take, just make sure that when you're vlogging, you're not simply thinking about what you want to share, but rather what's going to connect with your ideal audience. A lot of people who propagate this lie that vlogging is dead claim that you have to provide value in your videos because nobody cares about you. And that is true to an extent, but there are many ways to provide value. It doesn't just have to be through really niche education. It can be through entertainment or inspiration. And it is very possible to do that with vlogging. It's just at the beginning, before people recognize your face and you become the magnet to clicking on your content, you need to find these other points of relatability. Now, another really important aspect of creating vlogs that really connect with people is choosing the right soundtrack. A lot of beginners make the mistake of not really focusing on the music that they use and just throwing in some generic background music after the fact, but music has a huge impact on the feeling of your videos and how engaging they are. My favorite place to find music and sound effects for my videos is Epidemic Sound, and everything that you've heard throughout this video is from Epidemic Sound. You can search for music by mood and by genre, and Epidemic Sound will actually recommend music to you based on your YouTube channel and your past downloads, which makes it super easy to find the exact kind of tracks that you want. Just look at how much of a difference music makes. You can take a scene from stressful and frantic to chill and calming just by changing the soundtrack and the editing. Plus, all of this music is restriction free, so you can use it in your YouTube videos without worrying about copyright strikes. Your vlogs need a soundtrack, and the best place to find that soundtrack is Epidemic Sound. You can try out Epidemic Sound using the link in my description. And thanks to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring today's video. Lie number 2, the best way to grow is to optimize your videos for search. The classic advice about growing on YouTube is so simple. Just make videos in a specific niche and optimize them to show up in YouTube search results. And focus on making the kinds of videos that people are searching for. Tutorials, how-to, and make sure you title them in a way that people would type into the search bar. Stuff like how to edit in Premiere Pro, Sony ZV-1 review, how to grow on Instagram in 2024. Here's the thing. Doing this will get you slow and steady views over time. However, it might not be the best approach for actually growing an audience that genuinely cares about you. When you focus so much on searchable content, you end up attracting an audience that's just interested in how you can solve their problems or provide information to them. They most likely will find your video by searching for it, and then once they find it, they'll click and watch, and when they have their answers, they won't necessarily subscribe. They'll exit the video and go ahead and implement the answers that you provided them with. Now, I'm not saying you should never solve problems or answer questions with your content. Obviously, I strive to do that all the time, but I think it's the way that you go about it that will really make the difference between growing a rather transactional audience and growing a relational audience. So instead of crafting a video that's SEO optimized above everything, think about how you can make a video that's really meant for a human to find and click on. You want to write your titles in a way that is going to connect with your potential viewer and really stand out on the homepage. They might not necessarily search for these exact titles. It's not the type of thing somebody types in search, but when they stumble upon it, they'll be really intrigued by it. And in general, my philosophy is you're better off finding viewers when they stumble upon your content. Because here's the thing, if somebody goes to YouTube search, they're on a mission. They're looking for something specific and it's gonna be a transaction. They're gonna get the information they need and then they're gonna go. But somebody who's browsing on the homepage is looking to be entertained. They're looking to maybe learn something, have a story told to them. They're much more in like free time or relaxation mode rather than like on a mission research mode. So it's a much better moment to connect with a potential viewer if you can find them on the homepage and capture their attention through a really intriguing title and thumbnail. Now, in addition to a great title and thumbnail, you also need to make sure that your video is really engaging. And in my experience, the best way to do that is make sure that you invest your time into the pre-production or the scripting of your video. I personally have a YouTube script template that I use to produce every single video that walks me through the most important parts to make sure I don't forget anything, and that I'm always making my videos as engaging and helpful as they can be. You can actually use this exact template if you want. It's available for sale on my website, which I'll have linked in the description. But if you are a member of my creator club, my exclusive monthly membership, then you already have free access to the template. So thanks for being here. And if you want to become a member of the creator club, that'll be linked in the description as well. Line number 3. Having a lot of subscribers is the key to success. I spent so many years pining after the coveted 100,000 subscriber plaque that YouTube sends out. But the truth is, when I finally received it, I realized it didn't really make me feel any different. And there really was no concrete change in how my videos were received from having 99,000 to having 100,000 subscribers. Obviously, I feel really grateful for the audience that I do have. I can still hardly believe that there's like 270,000 of you. But what I've truly learned as the years have gone on is that your subscriber count doesn't really mean that much on YouTube in 2024. What really matters is the average reach that your videos get. Because truthfully, it's not like I get 270,000 views per video. I mean, I would love that, but that's not the case. And for most creators, it's the same way. You're gonna have more subscribers than you will get average views per video in most cases. Especially if you've had your channel for a really long time and you've pivoted through several niches. It just makes sense because people subscribe over time and eventually they might fall off of watching your videos, but that doesn't necessarily mean they unsubscribe. So the most accurate metric and what you want to actually pay attention to is how many views your average video is getting. And the way you do that is just by focusing on making every single video as good as it can be, hoping to reach the homepage and have a high click-through rate through a really enticing title and thumbnail and long view duration through an engaging video. One of the biggest rookie mistakes is taking up precious screen time to ask people to subscribe to you. There are ways to do it that's more fast-paced and engaging, which, you know, that's fine. But if you spend a really long time asking your viewer to like and comment and subscribe, that's time that they might end up spending mousing over to the X on the tab your videos open in. Because it's just not really providing them any value. It's slowing down the pace of your video, of your story. And so you're much better off just crafting a video that in and of itself convinces people to keep watching and to watch more videos from you. Because the way that the algorithm works now, it really doesn't matter that much if someone is actually subscribed to you. Because when most people go to YouTube, they're navigating to that home tab, and so they're just seeing the videos that the YouTube algorithm is recommending to them. So if you want to get in their recommendations, you don't even have to ask them to subscribe. Instead, you want to focus on getting that person to watch to the end of your video and then ideally watch a second video of yours. Because in my experience, when I discover a new creator and I watch through a full video of theirs and then I watch a second video, all of a sudden my homepage is covered in recommendations for them. Because that is a massive signal to the YouTube algorithm that I stuck around for more than one video because of that creator. So they're gonna try to get me to watch more of them. So if you can use that same principle when it comes to your own videos, you'll be much better off than trying to spend time convincing people to subscribe. The biggest hack for doing this is recommending another video to watch at the end of your video, one that's relevant to the topic and kind of feels like the natural next step for viewers. Throw that on the end screen, make a quick pitch for why they should watch it, and then hopefully you've got yourself a return viewer. Because in 2024, it's more important to think about returning viewers than it is to think about your subscriber count. There are many more lies about YouTube growth that I could have covered in this video, but at the end of the day, the main truth about YouTube strategy is this: if you create engaging and valuable videos for an audience that you're passionate about serving and connecting with, and you post consistently, eventually you will grow an audience. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you check out that video that I mentioned before where I break down one of the biggest lies about YouTube growth that is still so prominent, and it's all about having a niche. If you found this video helpful, I'm sure you will really like this one, so make sure you go check that out next. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.